And now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akugha as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome. This is Inside the Niger Delta, and I am Mamode Akugha. Today on the program, we're going to take a look at oil producing companies and corporate social responsibility, a tale of two cities. No, as a matter of fact, make that three, a tale of three cities. We're going to take a look at Ofunyama, Belema, and Kula. These are three communities that together with some other 11 communities make up Kula Kingdom, which is in Akukutoro local government area of Rivers State. Well, since the 11th of August last year, that's about 5 months ago, women and youths went to the Belema flow station operated by Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, and they shut it down. Till this moment, that flow station is still shut down. As a matter of fact, there are women who live on the flow station just to make it impossible for workers from the SPDC to come resume operations there. Well, their grievance is that they have no kind of help at all from Shell, SPDC, that's operating those oil installations in their community. They say they do not even have the basics, water, some kind of health facility, roads linking up the different communities in the riverine area, all the necessary school for their children. They say they do not have these things within their community. And they say Shell has operated there for about 4 decades without bringing any sort of development to their communities. Let me tell you a little bit about Kula Kingdom. Kula Kingdom, and it's part of Akukutoro local government area of Rivers State. It was established several hundreds of years ago by King Sarah I. They are actually Ijaw people, and the tribal seat of Kula Kingdom is in Kula town itself. The entire kingdom is a low-lying coastal area in the mangrove swamp region of the Niger Delta. It is located very close to the Atlantic Ocean, and the area is drained by a network of rivers with their tributaries, creeks, and tidal inlets. Her physical environment is blessed with vast occurrence of natural resources, including oil and gas. That's why, of course, Kula Kingdom today hosts Shell Petroleum Development Company and other indigenous oil companies. Well, we decided to take a trip for us to see things for ourselves. Left Port Harcourt to try to get to Kula, but first we had to get to Abonima, where you have a jetty where we can take a speedboat to get over to Kula, Belema, and Ofunyama.
Inside the Niger Delta.
So from Port Harcourt, we finally arrived in Abonima. Right behind me is the city of Abonima. And it's from there we're going to board a boat that will take us all the way to the communities that you can't get to by road. Communities right inside the water, where we're going to find out what the situation is with those communities as it concerns the oil wells they have there and the development that oil has brought to those communities over the years. So finally we are in a boat. First need to get this on for safety, and we're going to go to those communities across the river to find out what the situation is over there. So after about 1 hour in the speedboat on top of water, we finally arrive at Ofunyama community from Abonima. The people obviously are not benefiting from the huge income that the federal government is making from selling this crude oil. Also, obviously, they are not benefiting from the oil companies operating this oil field here, because you can see without a doubt that there is nothing that depicts good living. The place obviously have signs of poverty, and so these communities, you begin to wonder why every now and then they decide to, revolt and say no. It's a very simple logic. The money is on my right from the flow station, huge sums of monies, into millions of dollars daily, and on my left, the community that shows nothing but poverty and deprivation. We're going to try to get into Fuyama community now and talk to some of the people there and find out what their grievances are. Tell me, what is your grievance against SPDC?
Our grievance with SPDC is that for over 40 years they have operated in our community. We are lacking basic social amenities. The needed infrastructure is not here for the dwellers to enjoy.
Yeah, but please let me ask you something. When you talk about basic infrastructure for the community, first and foremost, do you know that that is a responsibility of local government, state government, and federal government, and not primarily responsibility of a company operating here?
Yes, but the company has a social responsibility, corporate social responsibility to their host communities. So the basic things, government is doing theirs. But the company, what is their corporate basic social responsibility to their host communities?
So what is it that you want that from the oil company?
The oil company
that operated, that's Shell, of course.
If they have good policy, as they have operated within this area for over 40 years, at least health center, good pipe-borne water, good facilities for educational centers. Employment, the major is employment. SPDC cannot come and tell us that they have employed any Kola or Fuyama, Belema. In totality, Kola Engine, one staff. They should prove. We have disputed that, we have argued that with them. They couldn't defend themselves.
We are so much of a blessed community, and we need the support of the federal government and its entirety to come to our rescue in this regard. Finally, it is based on the contumelious stratagems applied by these companies to sanctuarize our economy that has resulted in this action. For that reason, we are stating categorically that we have our own indigenous community, indigenous company that has all the relevant credentials, even better than SPDC, Belema Oil and Gas. It is an indigenous community. It is an indigenous company. It is part and parcel of us. We want to use that company to develop our environment. And that is why we are stating categorically that now that the lease to SPDC on this right of way here has expired, and the proposed divestment, which we hear that they are planning to divest to their cronies and their friends, Crespa, we are stating here that such divestment must be transferred to Belema Oil and Gas.
Facts are very clear. If you are getting about 45,000 barrels per day from this community, that translates to about $3.1 million. That converts to about 1.2 billion naira a day. From this community, why would you not do something to take care of the people of the community? That is the crux of the matter.
From Ofonyama community, we now visit Belema community, where you have the flow station and where the women, of course, are stationed to ensure that no work goes on at the flow station. Standing here now on the platform, the Belema Oil Flow Station, which is in Kula community, is just right behind me. As a matter of fact, it's no longer operational because women from this community all came here and had the flow station shut down. Madam, you are one of the women on this Belema oil well.
The women leader.
Okay, you are the woman.
You are the woman leader in this Belema.
Okay, so una come make people no work again for this flow station.
We don't want them to come again because they don't do anything for us. Since over 37 years ago, they were in this place, but they don't do anything for us. They don't even give us water, no road, no nothing. When you go to Belema, you will see the water, how the water be. Snake is moving inside. They don't do anything for no scholarship, no nothing that they do for us. So because of that, we don't want them again. Nothing they did for us. So we don't want them. They want them to go. We don't want them to go because they don't want to. We don't achieve anything from them. Our children, no scholarship, no nothing, no work, no nothing, no water, no hospital.
Madam, I understand. I understand these things the way they talk so, but you know, as una come now say make nobody work for this flow station again, una stay there. If government come with soldier uncle, come meet una for that place.
Come meet us there, then go kill us here. We don't want to go anywhere. We will die here because they don't want us. They want us to suffer. So as they want us to suffer, if they shoot us, we will die and go. Let our children benefit from it.
So what do you now want from the government?
We want government to remove Shell. Let Shell people go. Then they give to another person where we want. The person where we want tonight, they will give to.
Okay. So the person where I want now, you sure say when he come, he go bring water for now, bring school.
Everything don't come. He go bring everything. Everything go. Our system don't spoil things.
What will be this one? Oyster.
Everything don't break. Nothing there.
So una dey catch.
We don't want Shell again. We want them to go. Over 37 years ago. Nothing. This is the place there. When you go this place, you go.
So these two one are the catch before now. You know there again. I know they catch them again.
Why you don't kill everything? SM not there. Igbe not there. Africa not there. Nothing there. Fish yourself not there. Nothing again.
But this Shell, so now government now they supervise them. Now government now they give person power. Say come work here, or come work here. You want to, so now what make government bring another person?
Yes. We want another person who will take care of us. The person where we meet now you want. We don't want any person.
So, but as we know they see better water, how now they get the water to drink?
With the same pure water they drink. To drink.
Oh, from Port Harcourt they drink water. Come for now. What about hospital? If women will get
last month, person will get pregnancy, die. Yeah, born die.
Because as soon as they talk, say I go send go Port Harcourt. Now Port Harcourt, me I come from Port Harcourt. We don't spend almost 1 hour 30 minutes.
That is the subject.
So a person get by when I go put her for both 1 hour 30 minutes.
That is why we want them to go. 3 children die for road as they were going. The woman herself die inside the boat. So that is why we don't want Shell again. Let them go.
We don't want them again.
Well, it's a most pathetic situation. If you are here and you talk to the people, the level of deprivation, the level of poverty is unbelievable. And to think that they are actually sitting on wealth that is being mined through the flow station over there, which the women have said no more operations now. They've been able to successfully shut it down, and they want the government to listen to them. They want the government to answer them and help them. They say they want another operator to operate the flow station, and they believe that since they've not benefited anything from Shell, if someone else comes, maybe their luck will change.
Yes, by the grace of God.
Well, we just got some water from what looks like an oasis, and they say this is where the community itself gets its water for drinking. This is what it looks like. I definitely will not drink this, but this is what the people of the community. Madam, you said this is what you drink?
Yes, sir.
This is what you drink?
Yes.
This water that is so impure and...
Yes.
Okay, madam. You say you drink it?
Yes.
You are going to drink it right in my presence?
Yes. This is the one we are drinking.
Madam, it's okay. Don't drink it anymore. Still in Belema community, and I'm standing in front of a building which a lot of contrast, if you ask me. It's called Miami. Miami, of course, is a city in the United States of America where there's so much development and standard of living, of course, very, very high. But they said this building, this makeshift building with wood, is known as Miami. And we're going to try to talk to the ladies and the occupants in the house now to see if we can also take a look at what is inside, the kind of structure that these people live in.
We are living here. This is where we stay.
We have been invited to come in to see what the houses look like. So it's a wooden structure. So you just have rooms. So no electricity too, no light, no water.
No water, nothing. No school. No scholarship, nothing.
To think that this is a community that sits on top of so much wealth by virtue of the crude oil, and to see the people live in abject poverty, deprivation, no access to potable water, no schools, no health facilities, nothing. And this makeshift building with just wood and you can see through, which means that there's no privacy for anybody living in these makeshift apartments and exposed to all sorts of rodents, mosquitoes, and what have you. This is the state that these people in this community find themselves, and this is the state in which they live. So from those two communities of Fonyama and Belema, we now go to Kula Town, which is a sharp contrast, where after I went to, I understood why the people, those communities were saying no. They wanted SPDC out. They wanted another oil company, an indigenous one for that matter, Belema Oil, to take over OML 25. Now, Kula community has some semblance of civilization. And it's a place where you can get some clean drinking water, courtesy of the oil company operating there, Belema Oil. We just arrived at Kula Jetty, and at the same time, this boat is just bringing workers from Belema Oil. You can see a lot of people with helmets. Those are people working at OML 55, which is run by Belema Oil, which the people from this area are saying they want to also take over OML 25, which has been operated by Shell for quite a long time. According to them, just a few years after Belema Oil took over OML 55, they could see the difference in terms of corporate social responsibility. They brought a lot of developments to them from that company, while OML 25, which has been operated so long by Shell, there's not been any development whatsoever. You're just coming from work?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Belema Oil, sir.
Belema Oil. Okay, so the OML 55, you work on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How has it been like working with Belema Oil?
By the grace of God, God has reason to empower the youth to help us at least to do one or two things for ourselves.
Unlike the other communities where we visited, where there was no potable water, this is potable water built by Belema Oil, we are told.
If you use water, you see the treatment.
For the water? It has a treatment plant?
Treatment plant.
Okay. So, wash my hands and I have... We are in Kula town now, and we have potable water here. I've tasted of it. I see one of the guys here. Hello, my friend. How are you? Yes. Can you just explain a little bit to me the treatment plant for?
Okay.
Yes.
The treatment plant, the procedure with draw water from the submersible to the surface tank, the raw water then float to the surface pump.
Okay.
And this is the pre-filters. The water flow from the raw water tank to pre-filters.
Okay.
It takes it to the vessel. This is a multimedia vessel, the first, second, and third. This takes care of the iron, and this takes care of the purification, the odor and stuff.
Okay.
And this is the post filters.
Okay. So
remember, it flows from here
down. Yes.
To the post filters, then flows to the UV light. It takes it up to the tank. To a tank.
And it goes into the community. Well, we are in Kula main town, and anybody can tell that it obviously has the trappings of a modern day society. But we've come to the end part of the town, and there's so much going on, so much activity. Right behind me, there's a lot of work going on. The forest has been opened. I am here with the voice of the Kula Traditional Council, Chief Engineer Fioye Davis. Tell me, what is happening with all this? The forest has been opened, there's a lot of work going on. What is happening?
Yes, this vast network of road that is being created that you see today was actually a thick forest, but in the advent of the Belema Oil Producing Limited, these activities are going on to create that vast land, to create that open space for a road network. And then part of the road that is being created today is for a future siting of an ultra-modern hospital, a modern hospital for the community. That's what you're seeing. You can see that the work is still on.
Yes,
much activities are going on.
I can see that. But okay, is it because of all these projects and things that are going on? They are managing one of the wells, OML 55.
Yes.
Apart from giving jobs to people we saw now just coming from work, they're doing so much in terms of what you are telling me now. Is that why you people want them also to take over OML 25?
Yes, much more than that, because we were in our slumber as a community before now. We were in a deep sleep before now, but we are woken from our sleep because of this short while that Belema Oil Producing Limited got the divestment of OML 55. Just in less than 1 year, we have all this. We have capacity development, we have human resource development, we have projects, infrastructure here and there. So we never knew that all this while Chevron was there, all this while SPDC had been there, the community, as you can see, never felt the impact. But in less than a year now, you can see that everybody is seeing the light of the presence of an oil company. So we are saying that in the light of this, that even Belema facility, the Belema flow station, Belema as it stands is an oil flow station, is a gas flow station, is an injection plant, is a booster station. And we have discovered that it's one of the richest oil in the Nigeria, in fact within the West African sub-region. They call it the Bonny Light, very low content of sulfur, and is one of the best oil. So we want it for the sake of divestment. We want our son, who has the capacity, who have proven beyond doubt that he can manage both human resources and capacity development. We want it to be divested to him.
So with jobs being provided, scholarship to children from the area, roads, the forest being torn open, and road construction going on, a hospital about to be built, school about to be built. With all this, definitely it is clear why people from Belema community and Ofunyama community want Belema Oil to take over OML 25 so that they can benefit from the same kind of facilities that the people of Kula community are benefiting from. Well, most definitely, you will hear from Shell on this program in a subsequent episode. Shell, of course, will be giving their own side of the story, what it's been like for the almost 40 years that they have operated here. But this is where we'll draw the curtain on our program for today. My name is Mamode Akugha, and from inside the Niger Delta, say thank you all so much for watching, and bye for now.